So now you saw what modules and personal projects look like. But sometimes here in TGS, someone gets so passionate about a term-long personal project that they decide to do a year-long project. Those are called mastery projects. Our next presenter, growing up in landlocked cities and nowhere near the ocean, somehow still managed to love the sea. So welcome on stage, Liam and his mastery project, Whale Talk.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Liam Fossey. I am French and Romanian, and this is my mastery project. Welcome to Whale Talk. So, firstly, what is my project? Whale Talk focuses on exploring the fascinating world of marine life, as well as exploring many different topics like coding, bioacoustics, data processing, and marine mammalogy. One of the key aspects of my project is the use of technology, such as a hydrophone, which in more simple terms is a small underwater microphone. I'll also delve into the technical aspects of coding and data processing and engage myself in on-field research and experiences to better understand the study of marine mammals, bioacoustics, and data analysis. The blend and combination between my fieldwork and my research provides me with a comprehensive approach and a better understanding of the marine life around us. My driving question: how might I develop my understanding of marine communication through the use of coding as well as bioacoustics in the form of a fully functional communication/hydrophone device? This question drives both my passion and my learning throughout this project. What are my goals and my future for Whale Talk? Firstly, I want to conduct marine mammal data collection. I want to specifically focus more on whales, as it is what I'm doing for my project. Unfortunately, based off the last two terms, I've only been able to focus on the dolphins here that you can find in Salvador, which are the Guyana dolphins. I would also like to start building my hydrophone with all of its tech aspects, which is a camera, a Raspberry Pi small computer, a speaker that can go underwater, as well as a self-built hydrophone. Then I would like to code my hydrophone so all these tech aspects can work together into an input/output device. And in coding, there's a language that we use, which is called pseudocode, which is like the English version of coding. And so basically, what my hydrophone will do is, when you hear this, do that. Then I would like to start analyzing marine bioacoustic data with the help of programs and algorithms that you can find online to make audios more clear and make them scientific grade for scientists or researchers to use them in projects for the government or around the world. Then I would like to use my finished hydrophone device that works fully well and automated in whale territory to see if it actually works and understand how it benefits the scientific community. Now we'll be looking at the hands-on experiences and research I've done for this project. In Vancouver, where we were last term, I did not have access to a hydrophone, but I still went whale watching, where I explored the use of AI technology in identifying the unique genetic patterns of a whale that we can see on the top of their fluke, which is the tail of the whale. This helps us understand their migration, breeding, and feeding patterns. I also took an 8-hour-long bioacoustic course over break to understand the introduction to bioacoustics, as well as how machine learning plays a part in better understanding marine life. Then I made a big proposal for a boat excursion with a wonderful mentor that you can find here today. His name is Marcos Rossi. He is a university teacher here in Brazil, and he gives many different insights on how to conduct ethical scientific investigations with the use of bioacoustics, as well as what are marine mammals and how you understand them. He also told us a lot about his projects that he's done with students or some environmental impact assessments that he's conducted for the government here in Salvador. And 3 things I learned from this excursion is, first of all, how to not hurt the whales or the dolphins when trying to learn about them. Second of all, what are whales and dolphins? because they're way more than just what we see on the outside. And third of all, when you really want something, you have to go for it, even if you're selling your soul for it. Then we went to the Amazon River, where I was fortunate enough to see the two different types of freshwater dolphins, which were the pink river dolphin and the gray river dolphin. But I wasn't able to hear the pink river dolphin, but I do have recordings of the gray river dolphin as they were in an intersection between the Amazon River and a canal, and that's where fish are the easiest to catch. So here's the recording. It might not sound what you'd like expect it to sound like, but we can't hear it. But yeah, it's very different from the normal whistles or clicks that you might hear in the normal dolphins. That's a completely different type of dolphins. It's a completely different species. So yeah, that was my research. Now you'll be looking at my hydrophone diagram. This is basically what I want my end project to look like. So on the left, you can see the part that's going to be placed underwater. On the bottom, you can see a cylindrical shaped object, which is the self-built hydrophone that I'll be making. And on top, a Raspberry Pi, which is a small computer where a bunch of tech aspects can be coded into it to create whatever you want. Above that is an underwater speaker that will be used to emit sounds using the help of AI technology that's coded through the Raspberry Pi. And on top, you can see two Raspberry Pi cameras who cover a 360 angle of my hydrophone, so when a sound is emitted, they'll be able to capture what type of animal was around the hydrophone. And when you go up 15 to 25 meters of wide, you can see the top of my device. So it consists of a wire roller to not get the line tangled up, as it's very difficult to untangle in the middle of a research project. Then on top of that, you'll have a contraption to place the recorder, as it's way easier to have everything on the same module, as you don't fear of losing it, and it's just way simpler to manage. Then I'll have a hook with a belt attached to me, because comfort and efficiency is the most important thing in this type of research, as it can be very, very long. Now we'll be looking at the future. In my mastery project, I'm focusing on 4 different types of topics. The first one being Echoes of the Deep, which focuses on bioacoustics, hydrophones, and marine animals. The second one is the data dive, which includes data analysis, processing, presenting, and interpretation. That's what I've already done these past 2 terms. What I'll be focusing on in future terms is Brick by Byte and the Code Quest, which consists of building and coding my hydrophone. And for you guys to understand better, this is what is basically going to be inside my hydrophone. So you can see a computer-like chip in the middle connected to a piezoelectric cylinder or disc that helps the computer record these high-frequency noises with resonation. And finally, why whale talk? So ever since I was a child, I've always loved dinosaurs. I always used to ask my mom to buy me a lot of dinosaur books. And by the age of 5 years old, I had learned over 50 dinosaur names. When I went to school and I wanted everyone to learn these dinosaur names as well, no one was interested. And that made me really sad. And it's not until the age of 7 years old that I understood why. Everyone was talking about their careers, telling me how they wanted to be an astronaut and explore space. So I did some research on these programs like NASA or SpaceX and understood the amount of money they put into these projects to explore space, the resources they use, the technology they use, and found out that even though it's cool, it's not that efficient. And then I understood. Life is like a step-by-step process. Why do we want to leave Earth if we haven't even explored it to its fullest extent? What's going on? And I formulated a belief that in order to effectively explore space, we need to first discover the 94% of the ocean that has left to be touched by the human kind. We need to start understanding what is in the depths of the ocean. And I think that by understanding these large marine mammals, we can unveil some of the secrets that lie beneath us. And one of the end goals of the project is to have successive generations of children, when they come to school, instead of telling their friends, I want to be an astronaut, they tell their friends, I want to be a marine biologist.